Cette année, Batman a 80 ans. L'occasion de dire un bon anniversaire à notre Batou favori et aussi l'occasion de revenir sur ce personnage emblématique avec Paul Dini qui nous a offert la version animée de Batman, mais qui est aussi avec Bruce Timm, le papa de Harley Quinn. Mais qui est donc vraiment Batman? Et si l'on connaît sa relation avec le Joker, qu'en est-il de celle avec Harley Quinn? Un personnage qui depuis sa création a gagné sa place dans l'univers DC. Mais revenons sur Batman, qui est-il vraiment? Un homme, un détective, un guerrier?
I think there is somebody in between. We would discuss this quite a lot, Alan Burnett and Bruce Timm and myself and Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman. And we would say, who is Batman really? And I think the thing that we all kind of agreed on is when Bruce Wayne is in the cave and he's dressed like Bruce, when he's wearing like a, dark sweater and regular pants, and he's not really in the Batman suit, that's who he really is. He's a very dark, driven, reservedly compassionate man and very smart, but he's not in the uniform, and yet he's not above in Wayne Manor hosting a cocktail party and posing for pictures with female tennis players, and being the playboy. He is who he is when he's in the cave. That, I think, is his happy place. It's a place where he feels secure. It's a place where he feels in charge. It's a place where he feels in control. I think he's down there. I think he meditates. I think he works out. I think that he lives kind of like a monk in my mind, that he's aware that he has billions of dollars. I don't think he spends any of it on himself. I think Alfred is the one who goes out and buys him the suits, or he'll spend the money if he needs a new car or some sort of new weapon or something. But I think Bruce wouldn't spend a dime because he just doesn't think like that. I think he looks at the money as more a tool that he needs to function, but he's not going to he's not going to go out and spend money on himself without any sort of reason. It's all in the cause of being this sort of weird halfway Bruce Wayne Batman. I think one of the things I've liked was from the various origin stories of Batman was when he was a kid, he fell in the cave, he was frightened by the bats. He conquered that feeling, he conquered the fear. The bats are there. The bats are sort of almost like this heartbeat. When he hears them, he feels secure. It's almost like a kid listening to a lullaby. It was the screaming of the bats and everything. And when he's in that place, that's where he is. So he's clear right down the middle, Bruce and Batman. When he puts on the suit, he goes to work, then he has to be the tough guy. Then he has to threaten the criminals, then he has to be the sort of soldier in front of the cops and Commissioner Gordon. He has to be the badass when he's with the Justice League, but when he's in the cave, when he's not in the suit, that's when he's at his most zen.
En travaillant sur Batman, vous avez créé le personnage de Harley Quinn. Si dans un premier temps elle n'était que la compagne psychotique du Joker, elle a depuis gagné en importance. Mais comment est né ce personnage multifacette?
Well, with Harley, it was, again, nobody really had an idea that the character was going to exist when we wrote the Bible, and when Bruce did the initial designs, she just sort of popped up. When I actually was taking some time off from the studio and was writing at home on a couple of projects, and Alan Burnett, who had come in to take over the stories at that time, asked me if I'd write a few episodes on the side for the show. And one of the ones I was doing was a very grim story where Joker had targeted plain ordinary man and decided to make his life hell over a period of 2 years, because that's just the sort of sick maniac the Joker is. The Joker really is a warped comic and a clown in that he loves working at something until he gets a laugh, even if it's a very mordant, dark, bitter laugh, and then kills his victim. He loves the attention. He loves that feeling. He's a showman in a lot of ways, but he's a dark and perverse showman. So that's why he chose an ordinary man to to terrorize. And when you've got a story that's that dark, you need some laughs in it. You need to kind of lighten it up, and also maybe somebody to kind of burst the Joker's bubble a little bit. So when we're coming up with the idea of henchmen for his group, I knew I wanted a couple of leg breaker, enforcer types, but then I thought, what about a girl character? And the girl henchmen were always a part of the Adam West series, and they kind of lighten the mood a little bit. So I thought originally, what if there's a girl who kind of has that 1930s smart way of talking, you know, hey, boss, how you doing? You know, like that kind of touch to her. But also maybe her jokes are funnier than the Joker's, and he really doesn't like that. So you get a little bit of a bizarre back and forth between them. And so I came up with a character, just wrote her down, Harley Quinn, that's her name, and I didn't know at that time if that was really her name or not. That was just the name the character had at that time. And I didn't really think beyond that. And my friend Arlene Sorkin came in and did the voice and played her very much like that, and people gravitated to her performance. Everybody loved Bruce's very elegant, very cute design. Harley had a lot of costume changes in that episode, so he actually had to design her as she would look from that point on. So in the Harley Quinn suit, then as a police woman, and as a chauffeur, and so he really came up with some terrific looks for her, and this very mischievous sense of humor for her visually. So when the episode came back in, and people liked it, and we'd already decided, let's do some more Harley episodes. Let's not put her in every one, because we want the Joker to be threatening, and we don't want her just traipsing around after him. So even though she did show up in quite a lot of episodes, the more we worked her, the more we developed her personality. Then Bruce and I sat down and said, let's do a special comic book about her. And that's where we came up with the Mad Love story, and the idea, which was very dark, that she was actually, it would come out, oh yeah, she used to be Joker's therapist, and he sort of did this to her, and now she's like this. And it was a real dark twist to do this to a character like that. But when we did the Mad Love story, you got to see some sympathy for her and signs of her great intelligence and her great heart toward a character like Joker, and that she had made some bad choices and would continue to make bad choices. And as the character has gone on through the years, enough people have embraced her, both fans and creative people, that they've wanted to see her more on their own. And I think that's great that they have developed her in different ways, and creators like Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor have really put her out on her own, and that's transformed her not into a completely different character, but it's been a very realistic extension of where that character can be going, and that's made her a lot of fun to come back and write. And when I write her now, I keep more in that vein, rather than, you know, I'll never turn her back into what she was before. I might tell a story of the old days, as Jimmy and I did recently in Harley Loves Joker, the book that we just did. But it's always going to be, these are the old days. If DC came to me tomorrow and said, you know what, we're going to turn Harley back into the hench girl who always does what Joker says, I'd say, you know, get another writer. I'm not interested. Wouldn't do that. So protective of her. I have opinions on her. I don't go running up and saying, no, I don't like what happened to her in this comic book, change it, do something else. She's really their character. I am her father, and I wish for the best. And when I write her, I treat her with a lot of affection. And again, I just enjoy the character an awful lot.
D'ailleurs, que pense Batman de Harley et que pense Harley de Batman? Si leur première rencontre était plutôt hostile, les choses semblent avoir bien changé depuis.
I think their relationship is evolving. I think that I don't ever think there would be any romance between them, but I think at the most they could probably have a healthy respect for each other. I think they would recognize, if they haven't already, without discussing it, that they are both deeply flawed and damaged people who have spent a lot of time in therapy of one sort or another. And I think they are struggling to put lives back together. I think they respect that about each other. And I think he gives her a lot of credit for that. I also think he knows that if she thought she could get a good laugh, she'd punch him in the head with a baseball bat. So I think that he always kind of keeps her in front of him. But I think there is an element of respect for each other. I also think that maybe over time he will trust her a bit more. I don't ever see her being a full-time member of the group, but I think, and I also think that her transformation into a anti-hero and possibly heroine on her own, even one he might not always agree with or could even barely tolerate to be around for long periods of time, is as clear a victory for him over the Joker as anything else. That in some way, you know, Joker is always saying, well, you should kill me and that would be the ultimate joke. And it's like, well, how about I take this person you've abused and give her and help her develop a better sense of herself and help her to be a fully realized person who doesn't need you at all. I think that's a better revenge, don't you, Joker? And Joker was like, that's not funny. And no, and that is something that hits him on a level he wasn't expecting. So, you know, score 1 for Batman and score a lot for Harley.
Un petit message à Batman pour ses 80 ans?
Batman, it's your 80th anniversary. You look great, but that's no mystery. I know how hard you train. I know you spend a lot of time in the cave working out. I know Alfred feeds you right. And I know you're taking extra good care of yourself. And I hope you're around for at least another 80 years to inspire people to do good, to keep crime at bay, and to set a great example for heroes everywhere.
Un bien bel anniversaire pour un héros bien au-delà du super. Alors encore bon anniversaire Bruce, la ville de Gotham a besoin de toi.
Thank you.